Hello everyone, it's me Dr.V.Srividhya from GFGCBD. The subject which I'm going to discuss now is cost management, and in that section C, problems related to flexible budget. Now you can look into the problem where they have given the information regarding 50% capacity of a manufacturing company. For all the 50% capacity, what all expenses has been incurred has been clearly stated here. First, they have taken fixed expenses, semi-variable expenses, and variable expenses. Fixed expenses that they have given details regarding wages and salaries, rent, depreciation, sundry administration expenses, and in semi-variable is a combination of both fixed and variable, and in that they have given maintenance and repairs, indirect labor, salaries, then administration salaries. Variable is the expenses which varies as the production differs. So this you have to calculate as per the output manufactured in that particular period. And they have also given certain information regarding how to work out, how we have to take out semi-variable expenses, how we need to account this semi-variable expenses. What they have mentioned here is assume that the fixed expenses remain constant for all levels of production. The semi-variable expenses remain constant between 45% and 65% capacity. So this fixed expenses, whatever they have given here, wages, rent, depreciation, for all levels of output, you can take the similar amount. But for semi-variable, what they have mentioned here is between 45 and 65%, there will be a hike of 10%. So by 10%, the cost will increase. Then between 65 and 80, there will be an increase of 20%. So when we are calculating semi-variable expenses, this has to be kept in mind, and we have to increase the price by 10% and 20%. And here they have stated the sales at various levels. At 50% capacity, the sales will be 100. At 60%, 120, 75%, 150, and 90%, 180. What we have to calculate here is we have to prepare flexible budget at 60%, 75%, and 90% capacity. Now we'll see how we have to start this. First, what you need to do is here, since they have not asked per unit cost. Per unit cost of a product need not be prepared in this problem. So directly you can calculate the amount and take under each level of capacity. You can take 4 columns. One column is 50%, which already the information has been given. And next you can take for 60, 75 and 90. When you are preparing flexible budget, first you can take variable expenses. Variable expenses at 50% level capacity, they have given as 21 lakh 70, labor 20 lakh 40, and other expenses 7 lakh 90. This variable expenses is 100% variable. So as the production increases, the expenses also increases. So 50%, what is the material cost that has been incurred here is 21 lakh 70,000. You have to calculate for 60%. For 50%, 21 lakh 70. For 60%, how much? Cross multiply 21 lakh 70,000 divided by 60 into 60 divided by 50. So when you cross multiply this, you will get the amount for 60%, that is 26,000 4 lakhs. Similarly for labor also. For 50%, the amount is 20 lakh 40,000. For 60%, how much? So 20 lakh 40,000 into 60 divided by 50. When you calculate, you will get 24 lakh 48,000. Same you can calculate for other expenses also. Simultaneously, you can also calculate for 75% and 90%. Here, once you calculate for 60%, you can keep the base as 50% or even 60% also. It will be the same. Either way you calculate, you will get the same amount. Here for 50%, material cost is 21 lakh 70,000. For 75%, how much? Again you calculate, you cross multiply 21 lakh 70,000 into 75 divided by 50. You will get 32 lakh 55,000. Same way you can calculate for 90% also. So simultaneously you can complete all material, labor and other expenses. For 50 so much, for 60 how much, for 50 so much, for 75 how much. Like this clearly you can write and then cross multiply so that you will not make a mistake. Next comes semi-variable expenses. In semi-variable expenses, you need to remember that they have given some adjustment. That is that certain information has been given. What information has been given? Go to the previous slide where they have stated that for semi-variable expenses remains constant between 45 and 65%. So it will be the same up to 65%. From 45%, whatever it is, it remains the same. Now go back to the solution. See here, maintenance and repairs at 50%. What's the amount? 3 lakh 50. So this 3 lakh 50, that is this maintenance and repair semi-variable expenses remains the same up to 65%. Next calculation or level of output what you have to calculate is for 60%. So what you need to do, this 3,50,000, you can take the same amount even for 60% also, because they have clearly mentioned that from 45 to 65%, the cost remains the same under semi-variable expenses. So in the maintenance and repairs, this 3,50,000 remains the same for 60% also, because there won't be a change up to 65%. Same amount you can consider even for 60% also. Same way, indirect labor, say salaries, sales department salaries and sundry expenses. All this remains the same at 60% level of capacity. But when you come to the 75%, we will check what they have given for 75% capacity. In the problem, they have mentioned that increasing by 10% between 65% and 80% capacity. So there will be an hike or increase by 10% when the level of capacity increases between 65 and 80. So what is the next calculation you have to find out here is 75%. So that lies between this 65 and 85%. Up to that, there will be an increase of 10%. So here you take the base. Suppose if you are taking maintenance and repairs, take the base as 3,50,000. For 3,50,000, calculate 10%. 3,50,000 10% is 35,000. So 3,50,000 plus 35 will be 3,85,000. At 75% capacity level, the maintenance and repairs expenses will be 3,85,000. That is 3,50,000 plus 10% hike, that is 35,000. If you had for maintenance and repairs, it will come to 3,85,000. Similarly, for indirect labor also, taking the base of 7,90,000, you add 10% to that. When you add 10% to 7,90,000, 79,000, it becomes 8,69,000. For sales department salary, 3,80,000. Again, you have to add 38,000 to the 10%. If you had, you will get 4,18,000. So if you keep on adding 10%, that plus to the 50% capacity amount plus 10% will give you the amount for 75%. So here we have completed for 75% level capacity by adding 10% of cost which has been taken for 50%. Now again refer the problem. What they have stated here is, and by 20% capacity, increase by 20% between 80% and 90% capacity. So here you have to give an hike of 20% for above 80% and below 90%. Here what is the next level of capacity is 90%. So obviously you have to give an hike of 20%. Again you keep this as base and calculate 20%, that is 3,50,000. 10% is 35,000, 20% is 70,000, 3,50,000 plus 70 we will get 4,20,000. Similarly, you can find out for indirect labor also. 7 lakh 90 you keep it as base. Calculate 20% of 7 lakh 90. Add 7 lakh 90 plus 20%. You will get 9 lakh 48,000. Same way you can check and find out for sales department salaries and sundry expenses also. 20% to this base figure, that is 3 lakh 50, 7 lakh 90. If you calculate 20% of each amount, that 20% has to be added and taken for 90% capacity. So with the semi-variable expenses, we have finished. Next we'll go to fixed expenses. In fixed expenses, there is no calculation at all. Whatever has been given for 50% capacity remains the same at all levels of activity. It can be 60, 75, 90 or 100 or whatever it is. The same amount you can take into consideration while entering the amount. You can see here in this table where fixed expenses remains the same at all level of activity. Now we have found out the total cost. When you add up all this variable, semi-variable and fixed, you will get total cost. So total cost comes to 98 lakhs at 50% level of capacity. And sales is 1 crore. What you have calculated as per the information given. In the problem they have mentioned at 50% capacity the sales is 100. So each calculation you have to take into consideration 100 in 50,000 number of units you will get 1 crore. So 1 crore minus total cost is 98 lakhs. The profit level, that is A minus B, you will get 2 lakhs at 50% level of capacity. Similarly at 60%, 75% and 90% also you can calculate. At 60% level of capacity, sales is 1 crore 20 lakhs and total cost is 1 crore 8 lakhs. So when you minus this sales minus total cost, the profit will be 12 lakhs, and at 75% sales is 1 crore 50 lakhs, cost is 1 crore 24 lakhs. The differential amount, that is 25 lakh 20,000, is the profit. When it comes to 90% capacity, sales is 1 crore 80 lakhs, cost is 1 crore 41 lakh 60,000. The differential amount will be taken as profit, that is 38 lakh 40,000. So this is how you have to calculate when one of the level of capacity information has been given. Take that as base and check what they have mentioned regarding fixed, semi-variable and variable expenses. Similarly, you can calculate and find out at each level of activity what will be the total cost and what will be the profit. Next problem. Next problem also is similar, but here they have given the expenses based on sales. That is the slight difference between these two problems. Here they have given at 80% level of capacity. The expenses are given here. General expenses, salaries, depreciation. Salaries, again selling cost salaries is 8% of sales, traveling expenses 2% of sales. This is the information what has been given. Sales also is 6 lakhs. So based on that you can calculate for 90% and 100%. We'll work out the problem here. Here also they have not asked you per unit cost. It's only the total cost you have to take into consideration. So based on that, office salary, whatever information they have given, administration cost, take into consideration. Office salary, they have mentioned that it remains fixed at all level of output. So in the problem what they have given for office salary 90,000. That 90,000 remains the same at all level of output. You can check. See 80%, 90% and 100%. Office salary is 90,000 and it remains the same at all level of activity. Next we'll see what they have given. General expenses is 2% of sales. So general expenses here, sales, first it's better if you calculate. First row only you can calculate what will be the sales at different level of capacity. At 80% sales is 6 lakhs, at 90% it is 6 lakh 75 and at 100% it is 7 lakh 50,000. Same how you calculated for the expenses, variable expenses. Similarly, you can calculate sales also. For 80% sales is 6 lakhs. For 90% how much? Cross multiply, you will get 6 lakh 75. Similarly for 100% also. So you have found out sales at each level of activity. Now it is easy for you to find out general expenses and other expenses which is based on sales. General expenses, here it has been stated 2% of sales. So find out how much is 2% of 6 lakhs. You will get 12,000. 2% of 6 lakh 75, you will get 13,500. 2% of 7 lakh 50,000 will be 15,000. So here general expenses gets over. That is, you have taken 2% of sales. Next, depreciation. Depreciation, what they have mentioned in the problem is depreciation is fixed. So it remains the same for all level of activity 7,500, 7,500 and 7,500. Rent and rates also remain the same at all level of activity. The problem they have mentioned 8,750, so it remains the same at all level of activity. When you add up all this, you will get total administration cost. You can observe that all these costs are related to office work. So this will be treated as administration cost. Now you have found out total administration cost, that will be total of A. Next we have to find out selling cost. In selling cost, salaries they are mentioned 8% of sales. So you calculate 8% of 6 lakhs, that will give you 48,000. 8% of 6 lakh 75, 54,000, and 8% of 7 lakh 50, you will get 60,000. Next, traveling expenses 2% of sales. So again here it is 2% of sales. Already you have calculated in general expenses 2% of sales. Since you already calculated the same amount, you can insert here 12,000, 13,500 and 15,000. Next, sales office, it comes to 1% of sales. So 1% of sales is quite easy to calculate. For 6 lakhs, 1% is 6,000. For 6 lakh 75, it is 6,750. For 7 lakh 50, it is 7,500. Again, general expenses also is 1% of sales. Same amount you can put yearly. Previously, that is the previous row you have calculated office sales 1%. It will be the same amount only. So you can just copy and put the same amount for general expenses also. So this will give you total selling cost. When you add up all this selling cost, only the selling cost, that will give you total selling cost. So you have found out administration cost and also you have found out selling cost. Next cost what you need to find out is distribution cost. In distribution cost, you have to find out wages. Wages they have given in the problem 15,000. So 15,000 wherever they have given amount it is fixed. So here they have not given any calculation, just the amount is been given. So wages will be treated as fixed expenses and the same amount will be taken at all level of capacity. Next, rent 1% of sales. Already you have calculated 1% of sales for other expenses. Same amount you can take into consideration here also. Other expenses 4% of sales. So you know what is sales now. Based on the sales, calculate 4% and you can insert here under each level of capacity. 4% of 6 lakh is 24. 4% of 6 lakh 75, 27,000. 4% of 7 lakh 50, 30,000. So you have found out total distribution cost. So under three headings, you have found out the cost. One is administration cost. Second is selling cost, third is distribution cost. When you add up all this A plus B plus C, that will give you total cost. When you add up all the three costs, that cost will give you total cost. If you want to find out profit, sales you have already been mentioned here, sales you have calculated. So 6 lakhs minus this total cost is nothing but profit. So first you calculate cost and the various heads, then take into consideration all the costs, that will give you total cost. Sales minus total cost will give you profit. Thank you all. With this, I'm going to complete the flexible budget problems or section C. Any doubts, please feel free to contact me. Thank you all for listening to this video. Thank you.